Hey everybody, I'm John Granado. That's Lance Zerline. You can hear us on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Lance, Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason have been shut down from the Summer League, but boy, did they look good, especially Jabari. Is this an indicator that he's going to be any better this year?
Absolutely. I mean, look, this is kind of how he looked when he was at Auburn. He was a guy who was a more confident player offensively with the ball in his hands. I thought last year, I remember a game-winning shot where he pulled up and hit it from distance. And I thought, well, we haven't seen that all year long. And now we're seeing that on a regular basis in a summer league. I get that it's not the same competition he's going to face, but I think the mentality is what has changed, where he says, okay, yeah, I should be here. This is where I belong. This is where I deserve to be. He's a very young player, still just 20 years old. So I think that this is a really great sign watching him play this offseason and take on more of an alpha mentality with the ball in his hands. So yeah, I think this is what we're going to see from Jabari Smith. Maybe not the same production output, when he's with the other guys, but I love what I've seen from Jabari Smith. And I think it's a new level of confidence on the court.
Well, I think it's what almost had to be done. He's playing against a bunch of influencers and box lifters. And you know what? He's the number 3 overall pick with NBA experience last year. He was supposed to look like this. He did what he's supposed to do. Now he's got to take a big step in the NBA. He's got to be tougher. And I think, the one quote that killed me from last year is Stephen Silas saying, well, no, we don't run any plays for Jabari. He just gets what he can get. Really, the number 3 overall pick, you didn't do anything to try to help him get in a better position to play, to score, running any plays for him? I just think that the incompetence in coaching, and I think Ime is going to make a big difference. I think Dylan Brooks has a chance to make a difference for him too.
Well, remind me where Stephen Silas is now. It ain't with the Rockets.
He's an assistant. That's right. Yeah. He's an assistant with Detroit. I think Dylan Brooks and his toughness in the front court is going to help Jabari as well. Do you?
I don't think it's going to matter. I think Jabari already has that mentality. So I don't think it's really going to matter for me. I think Jabari was going to do what Jabari was going to do, which is I say that as a positive. So I don't think I have a big impact on Jabari as much as maybe it will on the shooting guards. Maybe it will on Jalen and KPJ and maybe Şengün. Şengün is the one guy I'd like to see get a little bit more dog. I think he's competitive, certainly on the offensive end. And I do think he's got a little attitude to him in a positive way, a little swagger. I'd like to see a little bit more toughness. And I don't want to necessarily say meanness, but a little bit more grit. And Dylan Brooks might plant some grit seeds into Şengün's defensive game. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
There's a lot of criticism about his 4-year contract. I see it. I understand it. It was maybe too much. Nobody was going to give him that. But I think Dylan Brooks is going to bring something to this organization that it desperately needed. And it's that grit. It's that hard play. It's that hard defensive play. It's physicality. This team was so soft and so just easy baskets all day long. And I think that's going to end. And I think that Dylan Brooks, though, while he's expensive and it's a long contract in 4 years, I think that he brings something to the table that this organization hasn't had.
Not since Pat Beverly, probably. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, PJ Tucker, Trevor Ariza, they had some of that as well. I think, those guys were pros. I want Dylan to be a pro at all times and not let the goofy on-court stuff where he gets into these little wars with players. I don't want that to overshadow what the Rockets are doing. It will be good to see a guy who has a little more care factor, though, playing. So that's, I think that's one of the main things that I'm looking at is Dylan Brooks not only gives him a toughness, I think he and Van Vliet, those two guys, along with the new head coach, the Rockets, I think every game will matter a little bit more to these players.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks isn't changing anytime soon, though, for your liking. I'll tell you that. In an interview just yesterday, the day before, he says, every guy that plays him, he's in their head. They're thinking about him. And so as soon as they know that they're going to be playing against Dylan Brooks, not so sure that everybody is all that scared of playing a Dylan Brooks team. But we'll see. Hopefully they will be soon for the Rockets.